All right. Hello and welcome to episode 70 of Salt Plays Sunless Sea. I'm recording this on the 7th for release on the 8th. So, if that tells you a little bit about how my time has been, hopefully soon I will get back to actually recording more regularly than that. I have lots of time off in November and December, so fingers crossed. I don't remember anything about what I was doing. Let me look at my notes and see what they say. The Admiralty wants me to go to Port Cecil. The Navigator has stuff at King Eater Castle. Oh yes, that's I assume cannibalize the Navigator. The spies at Khan's Heart need something, but I sure didn't write it down. The chronicler is looking for Glory's death on History's Beach. I still have no idea what that means. I have a bunch of shit to take to King Eater Castle, but, I'm not there yet. Element of Dawn, Casket of Sapphires, 40 Sticky and Ivory, The Mechanic's Secret, The Unsettling Sage. The Merchant Venturer wants either 21 Spider Silk, 7 approved romantic literature, or 7 romantic literature. I think I have... Oh, come on. It's being slow. I think I have 1 or 2... Oh, I have unread logs. Interesting. I thought I had romantic literature, but maybe I don't, or maybe it's just in there. I have 2 approved romantic literature. And then the Fathom King needs the Heart of Mount Nomad or the Tree of Ages, a unique engine or weapon, sunlight, an officer, fruit of the eternal tree. Okay. What am I going to do today? I don't know yet. My cargo hold is full. I feel like... Let's see. I've done stuff at Port Cecil. The Mechanic's Secret is in Frostbound. I could do that. How much terror do I have? 0. Okay. Doesn't it need a Judgment's Egg or something? It's a crate of human souls. I could try to get spider silk. I could make that my goal for the day. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go out to the horrible spider island and see about getting spider silk. I actually don't mind spiders very much. But I do not like the way the spider island is animated. It's unsettling, you know? I guess I should clarify that. I don't mind spiders when they're crawling along a flat surface, but when they're hanging from a thread of silk, I do hate that. I find that very off-putting. Even a spider that 5 seconds ago is oh, so cute. It starts descending from a line of silk and I'm like, what? Okay. The Salt Lions, after. 2 basalt beasts, cathedral-sized. They frown eternally at each other across the black waves. The north one carries the remnants of an encampment, fraying and tattering in the wind. A supply dock stands empty below. So we could pick over the encampment. From time to time, some entrepreneur attempts to continue the disassembly of the salt lions. It never ends well, but perhaps they've left something. Nothing. A steady breeze blows from the north, ozone and ice. The false stars prickle above. The salt lions wait for their end. Compile a port report. Nothing remains. Witness. An end. Even time has halted here. Who comes to survey the ruins? All right, that's that. Come on. All right, let's go up here because, like, I want to fill in that. Let's go hunting. That blue scintillac is so useful. Okay. Gillifleur's end. The gillifleur. Is it a young jellyfish? A lesser subspecies? Do the dreams of jellyfish become real? In any case, now it's a sad slick of goo dissolving into the Z. We're pretty good on supply, so I'm going to let it disperse. Watch its oil rainbow colors fade. A face! It looks very like flourishing of years, the grand shrine face of visage. Something about the eyes, the sternness of the mouth, perhaps only that it stares at the roof, perhaps only that it stares at the roof, just as flourishing of years does. Now it dissolves. I have missed the music for this game. It's really very good. In the Sea of Lilies, I'm gonna actually pay attention to what it would take to ransom the unsettling sage. I never actually look that carefully. Nupmidit Harbor. Nupmidit is very fun to say. If you haven't ever said it before, I suggest you try it now. Wisdom. The prison walls are mercilessly steep. Nupmidit built this place as a prison for the Khanate. Now it answers only to its governor, and its governor answers to no one. $3,000 echo. Okay, let's compile a port report. Too bad I don't have a considerably higher pages. Only 1/4 chance of success. I guess I will work on increasing my hearts. I bet there's no sharps. Oh, there's a shop. Okay, but I don't want to buy any of these things. Alright. I guess that means start increasing my hearts when I get secrets. I hate the Moving Faces by Polythreme. It's horrible and so cool. Alright. Polythreme. Here is screaming. Taciturn clay men, evasive clothes colonies walking like humans, cobbles that groan underfoot. On the hills above, a palace villa of marble, but even that writhes like buried bones in an earthquake. What lives? The king with 100 hearts rules from his palace above the city. He is never seen. He makes no treaties with other lands. But there's unrest in the air. The clay men you speak to are obedient and humble, but they speak nervously of those who are not. The maimed, the rebellious, the unfinished. Let's have an audience with the king of the 100 hearts. The clay broker, leaning on his copper staff, examines you coolly. The king will see your little friend, he says. No, he won't see you. Not just now. He gestures for you to hand him the watchful curio. That night, the hill of Polythreme quakes. The words on the walls uncurl themselves. The birth cries are everywhere heard as clay men set up, opening incurious eyes, awaiting their tithing to London. The clay broker waits on the quayside. On the flat palm of his broad hand the watchful curio squats, but it is changed. Our regards to stone, is all he says. I think I'm just gonna keep going. I could try to fight the Tree of Ages. That would probably be a bad idea. But I could try it. Horrible spiders coming up. What are your stats like? At 900, I'll leave it. Horrible sounds. Horrible, horrible sounds. Saviour's rocks. The sound of their constant motion is like pebbles on a beach. The scuttering reaches. Intricate webs stretch into a darkness where the shadows are never entirely still. Gossamer threads stolen by the breeze tickle the goosebumps on your skin. 1,000 unseen eyes promise 1,000,000 more. I have a bunch of foxfire candles. Let's try this. It's going to be awful, I'm sure. But I want to see what happens. Bring light into the darkness. The sorrow spiders avoid the candlelight, but not out of any sense of fear. Though far from tolerant of outsiders, they care little enough for their abandoned webs to turn a blind eye to at least a little scavenging. Up to a point. Terror without. As the lights of the nativity fade and the candles start to flicker, the darkness of the reaches becomes unbearable. Empty-handed but alive, you hurry back to the relative warmth and safety of the port. Well, okay. I'm gonna do my rule of try something 3 times. 2 times. 3 times. A scrap of success. Venturing into many caves and crannies, you gather enough silk to fill a crate. The audible hostility in the air by the end, though, makes it clear the sorrow spiders will only overlook so much of this. Alright. Let's check out preparing for the Festival of Silk. The glumness of the nativity is broken by the reds and golds of freshly hung banners. Spider-worshipping weavers and widows guide the traders in readying their celebration of gratitude to the generous neighbors that silently watch over them from the shadows. Let's compile a port report. The silk traders of the nativity know better than to risk loose chatter. Still, a little contribution to their festival may loosen their tongues. An off-the-cuff scripted response. The silk traders don't talk much. In particular, they don't talk of the sorrow spiders at their feet, over their heads, or crawling over them as they sleep. Spiders will not be having that kind of talk about the generous neighbors, they say with haste in raised voices. 2 supplies for how much silk? Let's find out. The fine silk of Saviour's Rocks is the most coveted in the Neath. There can be no better time to acquire some without the usual trader's markup. A fine bonus. The merchant whistles as he opens the crate and finds a couple of bottles of Moralways 1872, apparently rejected by the crew for being fancy toff water. Moralways? You don't know how I've dreamed of this stuff since coming here. That Greyfield's piss? A vintage for schoolgirls. He pops the cork and takes a swig, an unpracticed look of happiness spreading across his face. At his gesture, an extra crate is loaded onto your ship. 2 supplies for 2 bolts of spider silk. Let's check out the haunted doctor, too. Please, I must leave this terrible place. The sorrow spiders will not take me back. Please. Welcome aboard. The haunted doctor hurries aboard the ship. He pauses, looking at the cursed wasteland of Saviour's Rocks. The lady said I would never be able to get it back once it was thrown away. I see she was... Never mind. Is this my cabin? Yes, it is more than I deserve. Let's check out what his stats are. Hearts +6, pages +3. Well, she's still strictly better. Alright. Let's see what assistant with festival preparations does as well. The assistance of an experienced captain and crew will hardly be turned down. Quiet murmurs of appreciation. The traders of the nativity have little practice showing appreciation, but at least put in an effort. In particular, they're not entirely... Let me start this whole paragraph over because that was a mess. The traders of the nativity have little practice showing appreciation, but at least put in an effort. In particular, they not only entirely accidentally... In particularly, they, not entirely accidentally, let slip the secret of the accord of grace, a hospitality granted by visitors. Granted. Oh my god. Okay, one last try and then I'm just not reading this paragraph. The traders of the Nativity have little practice showing appreciation, but at least put in an effort. In particular, they not entirely accidentally let slip the secret of the accord of grace, a hospitality granted visitors by the generous neighbors of whom they will speak no ill. They do, however, hint that this only applies to travelers arriving through the port. Those unlucky enough to run aground on the rocks can consider themselves, but no. A sorrow spider might hear something they would, of course, never say. An occurrence. Your Savior's rocks, caught in the webs of Savior's rocks quality, is now one, a stranger to spiders. Let's do one more scuttering reaches, just 'cause. Failed. Yeah, that's what I thought. Any shops here? Not worth it. How much do these sell for in London? Does that mean... Okay, so 50 echoes each. Well, okay, in that case, it is probably worth it to just get all 21 bolts of spider silk here with trading supplies. I only got one that time. That's much worse. Okay, but let me read this. Will a fine trade. We'll only be needing to stock up on supplies like this till after the Festival of Silk, warns the merchant, as his people load your goods onto the ship. It'll be back to echoes like regular after that, but still, you've come to see me, and I'll give you a deal that'd turn Mr. Vale's cloak white. He pauses for a moment, checking the shadows on instinct. Of course, if anyone asks, I never said that. Alright, what's the rate of this? Okay, that's getting worse. In that case, let's head out. I'm gonna go... Yeah, let's go north. That'll let me check out Estival and such. Ooh, there's a guy there. Hello, guy. I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to see if getting the blue Scintillac to fill up all the way will make it all the way full when I start my next fight, if that makes sense. Okay. Alright, I think I will stop once I pull into Estival. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching this, the 70th episode of Salt Plays Sunless Sea. Goodbye.